Been crying this whole service, so I'm going to pull myself together. Hi everyone, my name is Kollin. I'm so incredibly honored to be a part of this service and really quite beautifully overwhelmed to see all of you here today. Saturday morning, and I was in synagogue, surrounded by Jews of all backgrounds, surrounded by those who had come every Saturday for every week of their life, and surrounded by those who had come for their first time. The Torah service had concluded. Whispers of the mourner's Kaddish began to fade. The davening stopped just in time for kugel, for 7-layer cake, for bagels and lax. Don't forget the cholent. It was hilariously Jewish. It was unforgivably Jewish. It was proudly Jewish. It was home. It was compassion. It was generosity. It was family at its holiest. Saturday morning, and I was in synagogue. The rain fell outside onto the drenched autumn leaves. Laughter and an overabundance of food filled us up with warmth. I was perfectly and effortlessly content. Saturday morning, and I was in synagogue, and I was pulled aside and told 11 of our people were murdered. Saturday morning in synagogue. You see, I've already chanted enough is enough. I've worn orange until it began to tatter. I've raised posters. I've shed tears. I spoke fearlessly and angrily and with such intense hope for the future. I wrote a poem after Parkland. I heard there was another shooting. I spoke my words wherever I could. But how many times can I read that poem? How many names can I keep adding to the list? The words have begun to wear, to tire. They are exhausted and ready to rest. Saturday morning, and I was in synagogue, and I was filled with a sense of ease I had been longing to feel for ages. The knots in my back began to quiet to a low hum. But I came home to a noisy and messy world unraveling before us. I came home to a world losing a battle with its longest and oldest enemy, fear. And for once, I couldn't think about our president. I couldn't think about gun laws. I couldn't think about God. All I could do was feel, and I felt endlessly. It was as if a part of my soul had been plucked. It dissipated into thin air. It was soaked in blood. The Ner Tamid had suddenly gone out. For this time it was family. This time it was home. This time it was Saturday morning in synagogue. This time it was targeted at the compassionate, at the generous, at the proud, at the faith of peace. This time it felt as if the mourner's Kaddish could never be loud enough to mend the wounds. This time no number of Misha Berach prayers could ever send enough love to those who need it most. Because this time it was us. It was all of us. This time it was Saturday morning in synagogue, and all of us were there. All of our lives were stripped away. This time I longed for the ease I had felt only hours before, but this time I knew I could never get it back. This time I knew every time I walked into synagogue on Saturday morning, I would be looking over my shoulder. This time, hate won. It tangled with us until it finally overpowered our constraints. Until we weren't looking, it waited until we began to pray. But no matter the hardship, no matter the overwhelming sorrow our people have endured, no matter the ever-growing list of fading names and stories we pass on, no matter the tattoos on our arms, no matter the death that has tried to consume us at every turn, we rise up again and again and again and again. We have created life in the face of death every single time. We stand here engulfed in hatred. We stand here in synagogue, Jew and non-Jew alike. We stand here, our deep sadness and soft tenderness filling us up with warmth. We stand here in our home with our family, creating love. In the midst of blinding hatred, we stand here unforgivably and proudly. I stopped wearing my Magen David around my neck a few years ago. It was scratchy, it nipped at my hair. But Saturday morning, I vowed to wear my necklace every day for the rest of my life. I vowed to never hide my family. I vowed to let myself feel endlessly and love without hesitation. I vowed to fight hate at its every turn, for I have grown up being taught to create life in the face of death, to create unity in the face of division, to create love in the face of hatred, to hope with such intensity for the future. So let's create love. Let's lead the world in peace. Let's rise up. Let's be together here at synagogue on Friday evening, on Saturday morning, without an ounce of hatred in our being, with our family by our side. Thank you.
There's some friends of Temple Israel, Donnie Zasloff and Eric Lindberg, who have been here many times. They're wonderful. And when this all happened, they wrote this song in response. During the week, you can certainly see it on YouTube. And we sent it out as they attributed it, in memory of the sweet souls lost in the tragic events at Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsford, Pennsylvania, October 27, 2018. Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there. I am but a voice, just a cry in the air, but I sing nonetheless through this pain we share.
Oh, sweet friends, come and dry your eyes and hold each other by this tree of life.
I'm angry and tired of this great divide, but I sing nonetheless with love on our heal someone out there.